fucking first cut. Golly.
Welcome to the First Cut Podcast. I'm Greg DuCharme. Rick Gehman will be joining us lately, so don't worry too much. But here joining me in this Olympic edition, we got Kyle Porter joining us. Kyle, who's going to keep this on the rails? Is that going to be your job, my job? To get here.
Producer Jacob, oh gosh,
it's gonna be my job to keep this.
Oh my gosh,
these days the day.
We couldn't even get 30 seconds. I mean, I was just getting ready to just start firing, and you show up. This is unbelievable.
I drove so fast home because I knew you guys having 15 minutes alone would be devastating. Who knows? Who knows what could have happened?
Listen, this is like when Bones had the one veto a year. That was what just happened. I was about to try to hit one, around the trees over the lake, and I got bonesed by Rick Gehman. Well, take it over, big guy.
This is your Olympic mega preview pod. Absolutely right. Greg DuCharme is dead right, and we are rocking and rolling with this late week's Olympic Games. This is storylines. It's an opportunity for us to draft Olympic teams. It's going to be a lot of fun. But the overarching sentiment, Greg, around the Olympics, it's kind of neutral. I think you get some stands for it, people who want to see the international competition. I think some people argue the format could be better. So that begs the question, one, are we excited? And two, is this the best Olympic golf that it can be?
Question one, yes. Question two, no. I don't to make it. I mean, it's going to be cool. You still have a number of the very best players in the world playing. You still got a lot of really cool contests you can do. There's a lot of fun to be had around the Olympics. So yes, I'm excited. Is it the best it can be? Absolutely not. The 72-hole stroke play. We talked about this earlier in the week, and I've thought about it extensively since that time. 72-hole stroke play is the best way to determine the best player, the best individual player. Yeah. But that's not what the Olympics is about. This is about determining who the best country is, in my opinion. That's what I'd like to see. So how are you going to determine what the best golfing nation is? This isn't the format for that.
Well, can I jump in here, Rick?
Please, by all means.
I wrote a column on this very thing on CBSSports.com on Monday. People should check it out. I was proud of it. I'm not like it was like I was excited about it, and I think that the point that I was making is the novelty of or what's compelling about the Olympics is that it's novel. We never see badminton, we never see gymnastics, we never see swimming, right? Like that's compelling stuff because we never see it. The problem with these ubiquitous sports like even tennis, basketball, golf, soccer is that they need a hook, right? There has to be something to hook you in other than, there's tennis on again this weekend, or there's golf on again, more so golf than tennis, and basketball as well. And basketball has a hook, and it's what Greg just said, and that's, hey, it's my country against your country, right? Like that's the hook. And with golf, it almost feels like they're trying to make it country against country, and it's like, bro, it's kind of not. Like it's really just like 60 guys kind of playing against each other, and they're wearing different clothes. And that to me is such a missed opportunity to, like, are you going to make it the Ryder Cup? No, of course not. But you could make it some sort of facsimile to the Ryder Cup or even the President's Cup. If you had team play, team match play, mixed team match play, I mentioned that I think on Sunday, but like that would be so fun and just so unique. And I'm with Greg. I think it's a big miss on the opportunity there.
It's like the countries in this is kind of like when they show the leaderboard with the college names next to it and calling it.
Yeah, you're like, okay, like
he went to Cal. Okay. He went to Cal, but he's still
Cal.
It has nothing to do with Cal. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's in American. I mean, I'll root for the Americans more so than anyone else, of course. And I will in this more so than I do in other sports, but there's no team sentiment.
And I think that's okay in like you have individual competitions in swimming or gymnastics or track, right? But you also have relays and you have a team aspect to it. So I'm actually okay with an individual competition as long as there's something else to go along with it that has the team involved. I mean, like everybody keeps talking about, well, Patrick Reed and Xander and all these guys are on the same team. What does that even mean? Like they wear the same scripting? Like that's basically all it means.
It means
because other than that, they're just I don't. It's really like it's kind of an oddity, and it's I don't know. I think it's going to be fine. I think if you get great guys involved throughout the week, I think it'll be good. But to me, again, it's a miss on the opportunity that this kind of thing presents.
It's a detriment because we already kind of have an international game every single week. And now you get an opportunity to put players into, uniforms, team uniforms, and you don't take full advantage of it. They still play individual golf. So I like the mixed team option or the mixed, right? So you have an opportunity to take the men's and the women's game, which are going to play at the same course anyway, Greg. They're just going to play it a week apart. You could play them at the same time. A really cool, I mean, you could even have, there are sports, and I think beach volleyball does this. There could be multiple USA teams in there. Like it could be Justin Thomas, Danielle Kang. That's one team. And then you could have another team. Like, so it is, there are things that you could do. I don't want to say to make it more interesting, but to make it more Olympic-y.
Compelling. Yeah.
I think you could have 2-person teams that qualify. You could have, the Zurich Classic this year that event doesn't get a lot of attention, but it was great this year. And a format like that, or even if you could do 72-hole alternate shot stroke play with teams, and it would have more of an Olympic feel than this. I'm not saying that's the best thing out there, but it gives you the same context where it's still stroke play. It's still over 72 holes. You don't have to go crazy. It wouldn't get anywhere near, Mickey Mouse. It would just be, hey, this team who plays under the U.S. flag is playing against this team who plays under the Norwegian flag or whatever country. But it's all of them, and they cannot still all play together. The one thing about a President's Cup, Ryder Cup comparison, those have just 2 teams. And I think it's hard to combine more than just 2 teams. That's why I do like a stroke play. I just think you got to group them together somehow.
Well, to your point, like John Rahm's a bad example because he's not playing, but
don't use that one.
Tommy Fleetwood has never played a team event for his country. That's probably not true. He probably did as a junior, but as a pro, because when you play the Ryder Cup, you're playing for Europe. You're not playing for Great Britain. And when you play the President's Cup, you're playing for the international team. You're not playing for South Africa. And this is such a missed opportunity there. Like, you're still not really playing for South Africa. You're kind of playing for yourself with some South African gear on, which is just, I don't know. Like, it doesn't, we don't need to belabor this. I think we're all on the same page, but it doesn't totally make sense to me the way it's set up.
The other interesting thing is that there's really only 3 places here. And especially for guys who, listen, I was watching the triathlon earlier, and after the first 3 spots were determined, it appeared that they were working hard for 4 through 50 because this is their one chance on the world stage to say, I finished 4th, I finished 5th, I finished 6th at the triathlon. And Greg, I'm not sure there's as much pride in that for the professional golfers who do this every single week with one another. Is there a difference between finishing 7th and 8th? I don't know. But what I think it creates and will create is strategy and shot attempts that might not be normal when there's a big difference between 4th and 5th place money or 3rd and 4th place money. They're like binary options. 3rd gets you a medal, 4th doesn't.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. I'm not sure how you solve that. The one thing is there are official world golf ranking points that go into it. So your finishing position does matter to that degree. So while some players will not care about that at all, and Justin Thomas, you're right. If he's 3rd, he gets a medal. If not, then 4th, 5th, 60th doesn't really matter. at that point. But if you're a player like Antoine Rosner, then the world golf ranking points mean a lot, and it could mean a really, it could create a big difference. So I'm not sure how you solve that problem. Even if you did go to a team sort of event, if you did a team alternate shot, a team better ball, some sort of mix, whatever format you can dream up, ultimately it's win or lose because it's not part of a season. So I do think the fact that official world golf ranking points are included is helpful, but I personally don't have any ideas beyond that to help.
Hey, real quick, there's somebody in the chat, producer Jacob, you can pull this up, but somebody asked, why does the U.S. have 4 guys and everybody else has 2? Correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, but I think if you're in the top 15, you can take up to 4 guys, and then you can't take more than that. And no other country had more than maybe 1, but definitely not more than 2 guys in the top 15.
Correct. Yeah. You can have 4, but they all have to be in the top 15, as Kyle mentioned. On the women's side, I believe the South Korean team was the only one that qualified. The U.S. only have 2 women. Is that? Am I accurate in that statement?
The U.S. U.S. 4.
They have 4.
4 women, yeah. And
so the South Koreans have 4, and the U.S. have 4 on the women's side.
Correct.
Okay, because they each have 4 players in the top 15 of the rankings, but otherwise you are limited to 2. And then that is why, of course, the host country, I believe, gets 2 with Japan. And then that's why you start seeing guys that are 300, 400 in the world rankings. Because once you start running out of countries, once the European countries are taken and you get Rory Sabatini in the mix, you start running out of countries pretty quickly here. So that's why the field gets composed in the way that it does.
Yeah, it's a weird field, right? Like
strange.
You get to 30 and you're like, whoa. Like,
yeah.
It just, I mean, the drop off is it's a little like it's kind of like they're playing Kapalua, right? Because you get these 30 guys that are pretty good. You don't have every top guy in the world, but you got 30 guys that can play. And then everybody else, I mean, it would be as if you just threw them into Kapalua. Those guys aren't going to win, right? Like Bobby Hurley is not. I can't remember his name. The guy from who am I trying to think
Billy
of?
Hurley?
No, not Billy Hurley. There's somebody from Germany. Producer Jacob can look it up. Hurley Long. Bobby Hurley.
Oh, I didn't know.
Bobby Hurley put up like 30 against Michigan in the 91 Final Four, I think. Anyway, Hurley Long. This is what would have happened if you weren't here, right? This is exactly
it's
what
still
would
happening. So that's
Hurley Long's not going to win the golf tournament. Don't clip that, producer Jacob, because now he probably will. But it's honestly, I was trying to do best bets today, and it's a strange tournament to try and figure out from like a wagering standpoint as well. So
yeah, this is a recreational wagering week for me. Like I take it very seriously. You keep track of everything. I try to size stuff accordingly, but this week's just like, we waited 5 years for this. I've got FOMO. I'm not going to have FOMO. Like I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
So one other thing on this, on the field, because I think that relates to the format. If you paired them off in 2s in order, so the Americans could get 2, they would get 2 teams, but there's some sort of pairing system. It would make so much more sense. But just to put this together this way for a stroke play event, you want to represent these countries for no or limited reason, to me, in my opinion. Whereas if we're really a team, it could be captivating. It gives them a much better chance if you play them together in alternate shot versus this.
It's almost like they put teams together and then said, but you're playing as individuals.
You're right. It's mixed. There's not it doesn't.
Is there any, I should know this. Is there any country that has 1 player?
Well,
yeah.
Did Spain get Jorge Campillo there?
Yes.
Because he did.
He got the last tee time on Wednesday night or whatever, Thursday morning.
Yeah, he did get in.
There's got to be somebody with 1 player. Well, where's Rory Sabatini from?
One player.
There is. Yeah, Rory Sabatini.
Where's he from, or who's he representing?
Sorry. Well, same thing. Or no,
The
not the same night.
Slovakians. There's a couple. I think I was looking at it earlier.
Yeah. There's
There may be only one from New Zealand or something.
Somebody said Paraguay in the comments.
Czech Republic, I believe, just has one.
Okay.
Andre Leeser.
Okay, so there are countries with that's actually a little bit. I don't know. I mean, you're right, Greg. Like even the field was constructed as if it was a team event for the most part, and it's not. It's not a team event.
Philippines, Juvik Pagunsan.
But like those guys, if those players are eligible, it should take two. It should take two to tango in this. I think it should be two.
What if they just added? I know this is a lame way to do it, but this happens in other sports too. What if there was a second medal for the team event, and so they limited everyone to two, or they took your two best scores, and because you have four, you have a better edge. They take your two best scores and award a team gold, silver, and bronze.
Yes, even that would add a compelling component to the entire week. Yes. It's just, I mean, and maybe this is a very like myopic American point of view, but I think one of the really interesting things about the Olympics is how many medals does my country have, and did we beat Jamaica in the 4x100, and what did we do in the medley relay and in swimming, and how did the team gymnastics play out? Like that. Those are more prominent questions this week than any other week, and we only get like half of the equation in golf.
Well, now is our opportunity to fire up the Olympic draft. And we might need Jacob to tell us how the heck this is going to work. So from what I understand,
this looks like it's going to be a disaster.
There's
no chance. There's no chance we can get through this.
So Jacob has compiled this, and there are 15 nations that have 2 men and 2 women. So the single individuals or the 4, they're gone. No South Korea, no USA. How in the world are we doing this, Jacob?
All right. Here's the format. I'm going to do a snake-style draft because I've been hanging out with fantasy football people, right?
Sure.
And so we're each going to pick one nation. So we get the 2 men and the 2 women for that team.
Mm-hmm. You only get to pick one?
Well, we'll go through. We'll each get 3 total nations, right? But it'll
okay. All right.
And
so
then,
there's 4 of us each getting 3. So we're going to draft 12 teams. So 3 teams are going to be left over.
Correct. And then we will just take the best finishing score of one of the men per team. So like Mexico, whoever finishes lowest, you'll get their finish point. Okay. And then whichever woman finishes lowest for Mexico, you get her finish position.
So if Abraham Answer shoots 12 under and Carlos Ortiz shoots 2 under, you take Answer's 12 under, and then you would take Gabby Lopez's 10 under to Maria Fossi's 8 under. So you'd have 12 under and 10 under. You'd be 22 under.
Correct. Yeah. You're doing best ball of each man.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. This is an Olympic field.
We're trying to create
this feels like the Olympics right here.
Yeah. By the way, actually, he is in the chat and he sent this to me. TJ's in the chat. Go on Instagram and look up Carl Wan's from China. His swings are amazingly beautiful. Like in a way that, remember that guy who would swing and then he'd twirl around and he'd like lift his leg up, puts that guy to shame. Yeah, puts him to shame. Go check that out. Carl Yan. How do we determine the draft order, Jacob?
Well, thankfully Google Sheets has a randomized range, so we're all watching this as anticlimactic.
Oh, baby!
I was at a disadvantage there.
They do not call me Rick Runbad. All right, so
first overall pick.
Now I'm nervous.
On the clock.
So okay, so let me think about this. I think that my short list is Japan. My short list, Canada would be pretty good, I think. And Canada's not going to get. So if I have the first pick, I also have like the 6th pick, right? So it's going to go.
Yeah.
It's going to go Rick, Jacob, Greg, Kyle, Greg, Jacob, Rick. So I'll have the 8th pick.
Correct.
So I got to get a good one here. Great Britain could be good though too. Oh, but okay, this is actually really hard. I think Kyle's in the best spot. I want the turn.
Yeah, you do.
Because Mexico's pretty good too. Yeah, I definitely want the turn. I should not have celebrated that. I will take Japan. Was that wrong? Should I have done something different, do you think? Well, who would
No,
you have
that's-
taken?
Imagine if Roger Goodell got up there and was naming all the players. Like, I don't know. Baker Mayfield's pretty good, but so is Sam Darnold.
I know.
Sam
I
Darnold
know.
would be great for you guys. I don't know.
Who
I
would
don't
you
know.
take,
You need a
Kyle?
defensive player?
I think Japan is right. I
I
mean, your ceiling. I mean, honestly, you could get the winner in both events between Hideki and NASA.
Yeah, I probably should have went with a more. I'm banking a lot on Hideki because I can't imagine Rikuya Hoshino runs deep in this thing.
He's not ranked that poorly. He might be a world rankings manipulator, but
Jacob, you're up.
he already took Australia.
I'm taking Australia.
Oh, mine hasn't updated yet.
I think you get high upside on the women's side, and then you're going to give me Cam Smith and Mark Leishman. Aussie.
Okay, can we like cross out the names that we've already?
Yeah, we got to.
Okay, Greg, you're up.
Okay, I will tell you, this is not easy, but I will take.
Jacob's hacking into a system somewhere.
I'm going to take Canada. I think
we now run ShotLink for the Olympics, right?
That'd be great. Greg takes Canada, and he's been very high on Corey Connors all week. He gets Mackenzie Hughes as the popper. Then he gets Brooke Henderson and Elena Sharp. That's a pretty good pick.
Are you upset that you don't get Adam Hadwin?
Devastated. But Corey Connors, we talked about this on Monday. He's going to hit. He may hit all 72 greens this week.
Greg said he's going to hit 65 greens. I said I will take the under on what.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
I don't know what to do here.
Oh, you have 2 picks, but then I get 2 picks on the way back. This is going to be fun. You're in prime position here.
Well, I want to take Thailand, but I don't. That's.
If you take Thailand, you have to try to pronounce all their names.
I can't pronounce any of their names. I can pronounce Arya Jutanagar. I can pronounce the women before
Patty. Yeah, Patty Tavatanakit.
Yeah, that's good. Gosh, I guess I'll go with. Great Britain.
That's Paul Casey, Tommy Fleetwood, Melissa Reed, and Jody Ebert Shadoff.
And then I'll go with you get better. It's either Mexico or
Mexico's pretty strong.
It's Mexico or Thailand. You get better on the men's side with Mexico and better on the women's side with Thailand. Way better on the women's side with Thailand.
Yeah, the women aren't great on that side.
Gosh. I'll go with Thailand. I want to root for Jazzy J.
Bang, Thailand. So Kyle took Great Britain and Thailand. Greg, you have Canada in the first round, and it's back on you.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty clear that I'm going to be Team North America here. So I'll go Mexico.
Wow. Okay, Team North America. So Greg's getting Abraham Answer, Carlos Ortiz, Gabby Lopez, Maria Fassi. Ooh.
Yeah, Maria Fassi's strong. She's a lot better than that world ranking, in my opinion.
She also hits it like 300, and she's bombs it.
It's going to be great for this golf course.
Jacob, Aussie, oi, oi, oi. You already have your own continent. Do you want to expand to a different continent?
This is tough. I don't know if I took into account the algorithm here coming back. I think looking at it, my lean's either Italy or Ireland. But I think I'm gonna go with it. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with Ireland. We'll go Ireland. I'll take Rory. And I guess
Rory, Lowry, Maguire, Meadow for Ireland.
I don't know much.
Pretty strong.
Yeah.
So if Rom was here, it would have been Rom, Campillo, Signata.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
I mean, China has, Shan, didn't she get the bronze 5 years ago? None of the men requalified. I think all of the women requalified, right? From the podium last year. I don't quote me on that, but I don't know.
She's also she's playing really well. I mean, I definitely took issue with what she did at the match play, but
We know you did. Yeah.
she's played well.
Oh boy, this is really tough. I could take, I think Italy's kind of interesting. I also think Sweden's kind of interesting. You get Noren and Nordquist and Norlander. Jeez. I will go with, this is tough. I think I have to go with, I don't know. I'll go with Sweden.
That's a great pick, right?
I'll go with Sweden. Right? That was tough. Oh, I get 2. Oh, so I can just have them both. I'll go with Italy as well. Italy and Sweden.
Great.
Wow. Is this your first time doing a snake draft, Rick?
Apparently. I worked really hard on that decision and didn't have to make it. So Jacob has Australia, Ireland, and he will add which country to your squad?
I think I'm just going to go with the third continent, and I think we're just going to add
Good
China
idea.
here.
China.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty good. All right. So, Greg,
This is
you don't have another North American option here, so you're going to have to branch out.
Yeah, this gets a little bit tricky at this point, to say the very least. The thing I liked about the China pick is you're so strong on the women's side.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anyone left where there's. I got to go Spain. Spain
for Greg. So
Yep.
Kyle, that is now leaving you. You have Great Britain, you have Thailand. Your options are Denmark, Finland, France, and Deutschland, Germany.
Bobby Hurley, Germany.
Yeah.
I'll go.
The German Bobby Hurley.
I'll go with Denmark. I believe in the Rasmus Højgaard hype.
All right.
Højgaard, Hansen, Madsen, Pedersen.
They all have 3 names. I guess Højgaard doesn't.
Just doesn't go by it. All right. So to recap here, Kyle has Great Britain, Thailand, Denmark. Greg has Canada, Mexico, Spain. Jacob has Australia, Ireland, China. And I have Japan, Italy, Sweden. We will take the low score from the men's side, the low score from the women's side. We will add them together. And what is the prize? Bragging rights, or
Well, I guess bragging rights. We can't tack on $1 million to the one and done contest since nobody else was here. But I mean, I think that would be fun.
I think we. No,
How
if Rick wasn't here, if Rick still wasn't here, I'd be on board for that.
Mark would lose his mind if we added into someone's pool.
I say we just play for coach's actual money. Without him here.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like
Yeah,
that. I love it. All right. We'll keep an eye on that as the week goes on. That is the first ever Olympic country first cut draft.
Yeah, and this is a Kyle Porter special because it's lasting 2 weeks. We're not going to know for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
So.
I would do like a draft for the 2024 Olympics as well. that would be the play for me.
Wow.
Oh, I thought Jacob was coming in from the top rope on something. Here he comes.
No, I wasn't. I just hit the wrong button.
Oh, okay. All right. Here's what we've got to do. We have got to do our Jupiter of the West Super Contest. That's where we take $100 over to William Hill, and we basically lose it. Is the way it's been going, except for Kyle, who is. I'm
just dragging us into the black.
Yeah.
Seriously, and then there's no one and done, so that's it. We'll make one and done picks, but they don't count towards anything. But first, we're going to take a quick break and hear a word from our partners. And we are back. Okay, let's do our little betting contest here. Gentlemen, Jacob, can we get mine out of the way first? We'll just roll through mine, and then we'll go through these guys. I just did mine like 10 seconds ago. So I have 2 matchups. So one is Abraham Ancer over Patrick Reed. The other one is Corey Connors over Sung Jae Im. And Greg, I think we were talking a little bit about this on Monday. listen, Reed is like, I'm pretty sure flying there now. I just saw him on Instagram post something. He's like flying there right now. He's going to get there Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening or whatever. And he is going to play Kasumi Gasecki blind. And that seems troublesome. Abraham Answer, very good at golf. I'll take him at -110. And then the other one, Greg, the Sung Jae Im love is, listen, I'm in on it too. I hope he wins a medal. I hope he does. But it's adjusting his outright number. It's adjusting his numbers in all the different markets. And if you really want to be quote unquote smart about it, it is usually not good to bet the guys that are being adjusted based on narrative sentiment.
Yeah, I totally understand that. And you know how well Corey Connors is going to play this week, but I like going against Sungjae here in a way. It almost gives you that life hedge kind of thing where all of a sudden you're thrilled if he wins and you lose your 40 $40 here. But at the same time, it's a lot of pressure to handle. And so you're on a rooftop here. It could drive you down the left-hand side. It could drive you down the right-hand side for three players in particular. I mean, for Hideki Matsuyama, it's big. This is big time pressure for him being in his home country. And for obviously Sungjae and Siwoo, it's enormous. It's a lot more than everybody else. So that's going to go one way or the other. So I like picking on Sungjae a little bit there.
And then finally, I went with Colin Morikawa to finish inside the top 5 at +150. I actually think this is a pretty good week to bet Colin Morikawa KP, not just because he's very good at golf and is seemingly awesome no matter where he's at, but I think William Hill has him at like 7 to 1, 7.5 to 1 or something like that, which is basically what, wasn't it Rahm like 7 or 8 to win the US Open? So you're telling me you cut off half the field more than that, and then half of that field are guys that probably can't. Yeah, and then half of that guys aren't going to win anyway. You've got like, it's like a 30-man field with no cut for the same odd. Like, my argument is this is the one week I'd be happy to bet a single digit guy.
This is like Koepka's when he says that there's only 15 guys. There actually are only 15 guys that can win this or whatever. Shit. But it's even worse, right? Like, because at the true, well, are you talking about the shadow leaderboard or the
the FedEx Cup leaderboard with the staggered? There's only so many guys who can really win. I mean, it gets Koepka's a great analogy, right? It gets cut. So, yeah,
I don't. That's a great point, Rick. I probably didn't think that all the way through.
By the way, you would copying the Kyle model.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I keep it tight. Keep it tight. Keep it right.
I'm sorry.
But the alternative is it would be weird to see, and maybe statistically it would be correct if Morikawa was like 5 to 1 to win this event, right? Like that would be, you'd just be like jarring to look at.
Well, that's what Rahm was before he had to withdraw. So I guess
he was 5.
He was 5. So I guess.
Answer this. Do you think that? Sorry, I'm very demanding. Do you think that Morikawa is going to see some like, okay, I'm a top 3 guy in the world type numbers? Because ad nauseum, 40 to 1 to win the Open. We talked about that, and I wonder if when we get to the BMW, is he going to be 10 to 1 or is he going to be like 18 to 1? Because he's playing like a 10 to 1 or a 9 to 1. But I just don't know if that's going to be reflected in the market, right?
I don't think so. He does not nearly get the respect. I mean, he's already got 4 wins, and even after he won the PGA Championship, that lasted like 2 weeks, and then he was back to 18, 25. Then when all the big players get there, 30. Then you show up in an Open Championship, 40. History says it's not going to stay here. It is going to drift backwards.
He's such a great example of the idea of like just staying in the stock market, right, for a long period of time, of playing him every single week, because he wins he wins a ton. He wins all the time. But he also will play really badly because he putts really badly in some weeks. So as long as you bet it, like I think it's hard to like ride that like I can't think of the stock market term, but like ride the wave to the top. Pick when you enter correctly. But as long as you play him every week, I don't know. It seems like a pretty profitable proposition.
He is also he's
Time
also
the
lost,
market is what I was thinking of.
He's also lost 2 playoffs, which is kind of great. He could have 6 wins.
I thought about that. He could have 7.
He missed a 3-foot putt against
Colonial and Memorial. In the Memorial thing, he got remember the rain delay deal? I guess he made the putt anyway. But they called the rain delay, right?
Oh my god, I was so upset about that.
Yeah, it was upsetting.
Yeah. So wait, what's the 7th win?
Oh, he's got 5.
He has 4. He has 5. Wait.
Yeah, he's got 5.
Barracuda, WGC. Oh, and 2 majors. Oh my god.
2 majors.
5.
Yeah.
He's got 5.
Holy
he wins
crap.
all the time.
The work days, the majors, and the Barracuda.
I've been saying 4 for a long time. I probably said that on like HQ and stuff too. Oh my god, he has 5 wins.
In 49 starts on the PGA Tour, $14 million, 2 majors. I think he's got like 3 missed cuts.
When's the last time you were on his wiki page?
Like
not enough.
this morning.
Right now.
Yeah, it's pulled up right now.
Wow.
It's and this is kind of my point, is that like, even if you and I are like short selling him on how many wins he has, and if that's true, then I almost feel like the market hasn't caught up to where he's actually playing. I don't know. It seems odd.
It'll be interesting to see the next couple of weeks, or if it takes 6 weeks or whatever, because the opposite happened with Jordan Spieth. When Jordan Spieth started to not play well, books they never gave up on him. It took like 2.5 years before books started to give up on him. And I understand. Jordan Spieth.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you.
And I know they are not trying to predict the outcome of the event, but like it is a thing. So we'll see.
By the way, that was pretty good. We made it 37 minutes without.
I know.
I didn't even bring it up.
Because I've been playing this week. Greg DuCharme. Let's go to Greg's, because Greg has an interesting little card here. 3 outrights. Ooh. First of all, one is the aforementioned Colin Morikawa. Another is Justin Thomas, which I mean, I'm not going to sell Justin Thomas for you. That's your job here, but I dig this. I dig this. And then the other one, oh mama, Hideki Matsuyama, 14-1. So you have gone with 3 Jez ball strikers, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, and look, I'm sticking with the theme. And one thing I've learned from you, Rick, through time, is when you come up with your model, you stick with it and you kind of go all in on it, right? You don't when you're in a DFS lineup, you don't spread out your lineups. You hammer home on your core, and you believe in your core and you trust it. So I think this is going to be an iron contest. I think it's going to be a ball strikers contest. I love the narrative of Hideki, and I like him as an outright because I'm not convinced of anything steady. Like I said, the rooftop analogy, I think he could play really poorly if it just gets to him and it's too much, or he could use it as fuel and all of a sudden go and win the thing. And then Morikawa and JT, I feel like they're so they're so good talent wise in this field. Their chances of winning are really high to me. I really think they are. And I think the golf course is a great fit for them. So these are the 2 best iron players in the game. And I think it's worth taking a shot at both of them.
I think JT's been kind of low key bad for a couple months. If you look at his, I mean, for him, it's all relative. Yeah. If you look at his finishes, and not just his finishes, but his iron, like I think we keep talking about the putting hasn't been good. His iron play's been pretty mediocre. Like I think he's around a 0 iron player, maybe even a negative. And that's just so unusual for him. So maybe it pops back up this week, but I was surprised by just how poor his form, not just in terms of finishes, but like statistically his form has been for the last few months.
I don't see that lasting very long.
And that's the argument, I think.
Right. And then you also add in, 1, it's a no-cut event. He does great in no-cut events. 2, it's an event in Asia. He has 4 wins. What is he have 4 wins in Asia?
He has 2 CIMBs and 2
CIMBs. So he's done really well on this side of the world as well. I don't know. Is there anything to that? Maybe not. But I think he's set up to have a really good week. So it's worth a shot. Again, another outright there. Corey Connors.
Hold on. 9 of Justin Thomas's 14 PGA Tour wins are small field, no cut events. That's
crazy.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Whether it's CJ Cup, whether it's Tournament of Champions,
Bridgestone.
Yeah, exactly.
Tour Championship.
Yep.
Corey Connors to finish inside
no
the
Masters
top 10.
in there yet.
Not yet. Corey Connors to finish inside the top 10 plus 188. And then Mito Pereira, love this, to win Group C. And Group C, Greg, on William Hill is Pereira, Rosner, Ryan Fox, Hoshino, and Matthias Schwab.
Yeah, and it's you got Schwab's at plus 450, but all the other numbers are the same. And I looked at that; it kind of stuck out to me. Mito is playing way better than anybody else in this group, and it's a noticeable difference. Ryan Fox is playing well. Rosner had a nice stint at the match play where he beat Bryson. So it's an interesting one, but he stands out to me in this group as the guy in the best form. And so I think with these numbers, you combine that with these numbers, and I think it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, KP, you're up. We've got a matchup. We have 2 top 10 finishes. Oh, and I love this. It doesn't say to win. It says gold medal winner. So here we go. Matchup. Thomas Pieters over Alex Noren. Pieters is the dog, plus 115.
Yeah, they're basically the same statistically. It's just that Pieters is doing it from tee to green and Noren's doing it with the putter. So it's kind of a like testing our competing theories against one another. And the outcome of this does not determine whether that's the right way to bet things. But I like that Pieters was the dog, and he's been better from tee to green than Noren over the last few months.
2 top 10s. One with Xander Schauffele. If Justin Thomas is the king of no cut small field events, Xander Schauffele is the prince of them.
Yes.
And then Johnny Vegas to finish inside the top 10 plus 350 on that one.
Yeah, Vegas has been 3 top 11s in his last 4 starts. He's been inside the top 10 out of everybody in this field in terms of strokes gained tee to green over the last 2 months. And I love him coming in. And, he played great last week at the 3M. Xander, to me, it was between Xander and JT here. I wanted to take one of them. And I went with Xander just because he's been playing significantly better than JT over the last few months. It's really Xander, Morikawa, and Casey are the 3 guys that kind of stand out in terms of tee to green play over the last few months. I think they're the only 3 guys over 2 strokes around, which I love coming in. And then Hovland to win. My buddy Sean Zock, who writes for golf.com, he followed, I don't know if people read the article. You should go read it. It was like 9 things to know about the Olympic golf course or whatever. He followed Tommy Fleetwood around, and they were talking about how this course is a little similar to Quail Hollow, just in the way it feels and looks and sets up and plays and everything. And so immediately I was like, oh, Rory, right? But Victor Hovland finished 3rd at that event earlier this year. So if that's how it plays out, I like him on this type of course. I think he's going to be one of the guys. There are some guys in this field that I don't know. I mean, Rory, he's kind of said like he's not. You don't get the sense that he's jubilant about being there. I think Hovland is one of those guys that's really excited about it. He's another guy that he wins a lot. He's won 3 times in his last 36 events worldwide, which is just a staggering amount. So I like the win equity there with him at 11-1.
There you go. That's Kyle Porter's betting card. Gentlemen, we are just about done. I was going to make us do one and done picks, but I don't know how that would work.
Just do pick to win.
Who do I want to win or who I think is going to win?
No, your pick. Who do you think? Well, we all want. I want the top 3 to be in some order: Hideki, Siwoo, and Sungjae.
Yes, I agree.
Does anybody not want that?
Well,
I can't imagine.
I'd like to think Justin Thomas doesn't want that.
Well, yes,
right.
But like that's to me, those are just the top. Like that's.
I think all the players would like to see themselves on top with Sungjae and Siwoo right by their side. Because Hideki, it's important, it's big, but it's not the career-altering event. Or if it doesn't, so I think that's where everybody is. I agree with you.
Sean Martin dubbed, if Hideki wins, it's the green and gold, the green jacket and the gold medal. I thought that was pretty good.
Same year. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess that's never been done.
No.
Because outside of Justin Rose, the Masters didn't exist in the previous Olympics.
Exactly.
And then
in 1900 and 1904, there was no Masters.
That would be something that might never ever be done again if he did it.
Yeah. It'd be extraordinarily difficult.
I think Morikawa's going to win.
Nice combo. It'd be a nice combo.
You think Morikawa's going to win?
Yeah. I think he's the best player in the world. I think this is a course that rewards it. Slow greens, putt them out, putt them lights out. Let's go.
I think so. One thing to watch is the spread between first and last. Last time it was, since it's a no-cut event, that's always fun in WGC events. Last time it was Justin Rose beat last place by 29. I think it gets into the 30s this year. I really think there's going to be, I mean, at a no-cut event like this, it's difficult to envision. I mean, the cream's going to rise. I mean, Craig led with this, like over 72 holes, the Xanders and the JTs, it rises to the top, and you might get an Abe Answer in there, a Cam Smith or whatever. But I think the top 10 is going to look pretty similar to the 10 favorites on this board.
Kyle went with Hovland. I went with Morikawa. Greg, sounds like you're going with JT.
Yeah. I'm going to go JT. I wish I could say Sung Jae, but I think I'm pulling for them on the podium, as we said. But I think this is a JT week. It's just a feeling.
All right,
love it.
Well, that'll do it. The next First Cut podcast will be happening after the conclusion of the final round, which is going to be 3 a.m. Eastern Sunday. So good luck us. That'll be fun. And we will talk to you then. Producer Jacob does all the hard work behind the scenes. Thank you very much. That's Greg DuCharme, who you can find on Twitter at @TheRealGFD. That's Kyle Porter, who you can find at Kyle Porter CBS. And you can find me at Rick Run Good. This has been The First Cut, and we'll catch you next time.